Stop recording. I think my cat Cody is really liking the fact that the bedroom light's on and it's brighter in here because he's like way more active right now. I was hoping he would stay on my bed for this video. And he's playing, and now my other cat is, so I think that, I know it's like I don't, usually turn lights on unless people are here because why? And but yeah, they're like playing, and I mean they're pretty active anyway, so it could just be a coincidence, but I do think that they're like, oh, it's extra bright in here right now. But they really like when I open the bedroom window because then they get fresh air, and sometimes I do when it gets too warm in here. Like I try to adjust the heat where it's comfortable, but sometimes it's either like chilly, but most of the time it's like a sauna. But I'm not complaining because it could be the other way where it's like freezing all the time no matter what. And so that's nice about it. Anyway, hey, I hope everyone's doing well out there. I've been watching this. It's on Netflix. It's called The Madness. I think it's a movie, but when I go into like the controls, it shows like episode, like go to the next episode. But I think it's a movie. Anyway, it's called The Madness, and it has audio description. And I just want to point out again, I feel like I'm a broken record because I feel like I talked a lot. But I mean, when I go on Twitter and Facebook and I see people, educating and showing how important audio description is for the blind and low vision community, as well as those that might be cooking dinner and they don't want to watch, maybe they're focused on the dinner or doing something else, and the show, if the audio description is turned on, then they're able to listen to it and and do something else while they're listening. But either way, audio description is very vital, and when it's around, it is amazing. And the overwhelming gratitude for audio description presence is astounding. Like I love it. Like it's great. Anyway, my point is that because there are times in this show I'm watching, or movie, whatever you call it. It's a mini series. Oh yeah, that's right. It did say that in the description. It's a mini series. Okay. So there are parts in it where like the guy's in a swamp, or he's going through the woods, or he's in the house and he's doing things, he's trying to be behind the scenes without trying to give away the show. Like he's trying to make himself, blend in so that no one notices him, but he is doing it in a way where he's watchful, watching what's going on around him to make sure he's okay. And so if there was no audio description, I wouldn't know all that. Like, I wouldn't know, like, oh, he's, deep in the water, but he's under it, so the people can't see him because he's, inconspicuous or whatever. But he's able to watch his surroundings. And, I wouldn't know any of that. I would just hear the music, and I would hear him moving a little bit in the water maybe, or like the rush of the people. And there are other scenes in that show with like fighting and, and depending on who's winning or not, I need to know all that, like, because it's not like they're talking while they're fighting, So there's a lot of things within the movie that don't have dialogue, just noise, and I need to know what's going on. So again, like audio description is extremely wonderful, and I'm thankful for whenever they add it to shows. And I know there are like laws and different stuff they have to go through to get the content and work with whoever is doing it, and I don't know, it's like a bunch of stuff, but I think the more it's out there, the better, and I'm thankful. I also want to note that I came across a website, and it was extremely, I was unable to log into an account that I was trying to get into, and there were different ways I was trying to go about it. And the one way was the generated code, where the code is sent to your email or your phone, and you take that code and then you put it into the edit box to submit it so that they'll say, oh, it's you, and let you into the account. Like, okay, this person's really who they are, saying they are, because we got one thing, but we need the other info. So it's like, when I go to type the code in, I get so far into the code, and then it won't allow me to type any more things, more characters, more numbers, or anything. So it's like useless, because if I submit it with just half of the code, it says invalid entry. So and I don't know, and I was talking with a friend who also uses mostly like Mac and iPhone, Apple stuff, and VoiceOver screen reader. And they said they encounter the same thing when they're on web pages and things, where they try to type in a code and then it only lets you so far. So I don't understand. So different things run through your head. Is it VoiceOver, or is it the website? And there's a problem no matter if you're on VoiceOver or not. Like if you're using VoiceOver or you are doing it as a person with sight and they're typing the number in, will it do the same thing, behave the same way, where it only lets you type so much of that code in? So that's where I wonder, like, what's going on there. But I just want to note that, like, if I encountered it and I talked to somebody and they said yes, there are times when they try to use that generated code and it does the same thing to them when they can't type the whole thing in. So I just wanted to make that note. Like, it's interesting, because sometimes I don't really understand the behavior. I just know it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So I just wanted to say that. And I did talk about audio description in movies and shows and entertainment like that. It's even good for comedians, because then when they're talking and they're giving a speech, not a speech, but they're trying to reiterate their joke or talk about stuff, they're moving their hands, and they're motioning, or they're doing something with the microphone. Speaking of mic, so I just wanted to say that I love that Linkin Park, the music band Linkin Park, have gotten back together, and ever since September, I've been like so excited, like, because the vocalist in Dead Sarah, the band, who I didn't like, I've heard the Nirvana song that she redid. I think it's Heart-Shaped Box. I've heard that one, but I never thought to actually listen to all her music. But I've heard it on the radio, or when I'm just listening to streaming music and stuff. And so I got to see Linkin Park's introduction to Emily Armstrong, who's the vocalist for Dead Sarah too. And so I got to see them perform the single for their new album, Linkin Park's new album, From Zero. And it was so cool to listen to Mike Shinoda introduce Emily. And Mike is always been a part of Linkin Park, and you can't have Linkin Park without him, because he does all the rapping and he does some of the vocals too. So you can't, he's vital, and I'm glad he's around, and it's really cool to see Linkin Park the way it is. And then I got to appreciate Dead Sarah because of the lead vocalist. I was curious, because I love music and I love getting introduced to music. And then I go through that regret stage of I wish I would have heard her earlier. I wish I would have known of her, when I look at some of the album dates, when they're released and stuff, 2015. It seems like a lot of really amazing music came out in 2015, though, when I'm reading that kind of stuff. So anyway, and I got to really her or Dead Sarah's music, and now that's mostly on the top of my playlist. Everyone has their favorites and stuff. So yeah, now I have a new favorite band. And anyway, I don't know, just some bands stick with you and then they become your favorite, Evanescence. I'm Breaking Benjamin, and so I just a lot of different bands I like, you know, and then I like my like Taylor Swift and like well, I think her name is Andrea Day. Yeah, the I will rise up, rise from or with a wave. Yeah, that song. So there's a lot of music. I love all kinds of music. Like, but anyways, like some of my favorites. So yeah. So and then I've also been like reading a bunch, still using the Kindle app, and I use Kindle on, you know, usually one of my iPads, and then I will like I will use my Braille display here, and you know, think I've shown this one. It's the e-reader, and it's the one from Humanware, and it's actually through NLS Talking Books, which is the National Library Service for the Blind, and it's a borrowed deal where I borrow it and I can read with it, and they have their own library service for the blind where I can download books from Bard. They call it BARD, I think, and that's where the books are to download and read on there as an e-reader, you know, if you don't want to. But I attach it a lot of times to my iPad because this e-reader is a lot quieter, like I've said in other videos, than the Orbit reader, which is my other e-reader that is mine. And I feel like I use this one way more because it connects with my iPads that I use the most. And this does not. I wish this connected to Mac though. Mac OS is not compatible with this e-reader, and I wish it was, but oh, and that was echo. But anyway, I love this guy, and I feel bad because I feel like my Orbit reader just mostly sits in my backpack. But I love it anyway, and if this one dies, then that's my backup. Poor thing. Anyway, I love my stuff, so it's not like I would never use it. Anyways, I hope everyone's doing well, like I said, out there. And I love any feedback, any video ideas or anything I can maybe talk about or look into, or you know, if there's an app out there maybe maybe something for me to check out that maybe I don't know about or anything like that, feel free to drop them in the comment section. And thanks for watching. Oh, there's the tornado siren. That's so funny. Is it 1 o'clock? Echo, what time is it?
Plus 15,864,602,759.
Well, anyway, that's our tornado siren.
You have an appointment
That's
with Chris
funny.
Battle on Pulse Smash. Show capture. Stop recording.